The midterm election results are still coming in, but the focus may start shifting to 2024 now as the Republican field starts to take shape. Former President Trump is set to make what his team is calling a special announcement from his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida. That announcement set for 8 tonight.
Political science professor Stephen Caliendo joins us now to discuss this potential presidential run for Donald Trump once again. Professor Caliendo, as always, thank you for being on the program.
It's good to see you.
All right, so during the midterm campaign season, Trump proved that he is still a big draw for a crowd, but this midterm was a epic defeat in terms of his hand-picked people. Is his grip on the Republican Party waning, and what do you make of the timing on this potential announcement here?
Well, Anthony, the timing is interesting because the former president made the announcement that he was going to make the announcement prior to the midterms. And I think he expected that we'd be in a much different political context than we are today. The red wave that many pundits predicted never materialized. And worse than that for former President Trump is that so many of the candidates that he endorsed or really threw his weight behind were defeated. And so it's a very different... You combine that with how strong DeSantis performed in his election bid in Florida, I think it's a much more complicated environment than the former president would have expected he'd be in.
Yeah, and you've got all that political stuff on one side, but then you also have all these investigations and the legal trouble that Trump might be facing. How do you think that could impact all of this?
Sally, I don't know. I mean, you know, look, this is a candidate. This is a politician, a public official who doesn't seem to lose any support, no matter how much trouble arises. You know, there's a core group of 33, maybe 34% of the public who will support him no matter what. All of those folks are conservative, but not all conservatives are going to continue to support him or have continued to support him. The question is, that amount of support is not enough. Probably not even enough to get a nomination, but it certainly isn't enough to win the presidency.
Of course, as we talk about Trump, this is a man who's had such hold over the country and over a lot of Republican voters for years now. After the election results this week and a lot of things that have happened since then, do you start to see maybe that we might be moving in a different direction, especially within the GOP?
I think that there's a lot of mainstream Republicans, and when I say mainstream, I'm not talking about their ideological orientation. I'm talking about folks who have been in the party a long time, predated President Trump, folks who are, you know, elected members of legislative assemblies at state levels and in Congress who are ready to move on. This election signaled that Trump may be serving as an albatross around the necks of the Republican Party, and that maybe it's time to move on. The problem is that he's very popular with a lot of people still. And so he's a draw. He's still a kingmaker in the sense that people are looking for his endorsement. Whether that changes after this election, when it seems like his endorsement may not matter, it remains to be seen.
Well, we will talk afterwards, I'm sure. Dr. Stephen Menard Caliendo, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and Professor of Political Science at North Central College. Thanks, as always, for being here.